So, Goranka, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us today in this conversation where we want to give to our clients, the client of Clinique La Prairie, some insight about the technology that we are using here at Clinique La Prairie. I wanted Clinique La Prairie to be in the forefront of genetics 2 years ago when we started our collaboration. We found this fantastic company, GenPredictis. We found you. So before we start talking about genetics, can you tell me something about you and your amazing background?
Thank you, Simone, for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here with you today. So I'm a scientist by training. I have a PhD in genetics and molecular biology from University of Zagreb and PhD in biology from University of Geneva. And in parallel to my PhD, I have studied business in US and in Switzerland. And after over 10 years of successful academic career, I've been recruited as a CEO of GenPredictis. GenPredictis is a pioneering Swiss company specialized in precision medicine, and we have an excellent team of specialists that develop diverse tests, some of them that answer some yet unanswered medical needs, such as, for instance, prediction of risk to develop blood clotting with contraceptive pills. Or on the other hand, we have a tests that allow to actually address predisposition to some common diseases.
Very interesting. So we have big trends in longevity today in our industry, in wellness and longevity. There are stem cell, there are the big data, and there is genetic. So before we go into the specific development that you have done together with GenPredictis, can you explain to our listener what is genetic?
Genetics is a science that actually studies genes, gene variations, and heredity in living organisms. And it's something that interests humans since centuries, but it has actually developed rapidly over the last 70 or 80 years. In 1944, actually, it was discovered that DNA contains genetic information. And then in 1970s, we first time had the tools to read this genetic information. It was genetic sequencing or DNA sequencing. And then this allowed development of high throughput methods that brought actually to sequencing of the human genome. And the first human genome was sequenced from 1990 to 2003. Since then, we had hundreds of thousands of human genomes sequenced, and this allowed scientists to actually better understand the relation between genes and specific genetic variations and predisposition to develop diseases or certain other traits that might not be pathogenic.
Very good. So we believe that the future of longevity program is first of all the understanding of the genetic. That's why together we have developed for each of the program of Clinique La Prairie, revitalization, master detox, better sleep, weight management, specific genetic test. Can you tell us something more about the tests that we developed together and why they are so special for the clients coming here at Clinique La Prairie?
Well, genetic test is a process of analyzing human genome in whole or in part, most often in a part. And actually it allows, as I said, to relate certain genetic variations to predisposition to develop certain diseases. If we look just at the statistics of World Health Organization, we can see that we live in the era of non-communicable or non-transmissible diseases, where 5 top deadly diseases are actually diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, respiratory diseases or cognitive decline diseases. And all these in genetics we call complex diseases, which means that they are influenced both by our genes and our behavior, our environment. And actually developing gene tests such as those that we developed helps us to better understand what are our genetic risks, what are our lifestyle risks, and actually to motivate people to act upon their lifestyle to prevent or delay development of the disease.
So very good. In fact, what we want to do together is the vision of Clinique La Prairie, which is helping people living a longer, healthier and better life, and we want at the end really change their life for the better. So that's why we have started this collaboration, that's why we have in the pipeline a lot of projects together to continue to work in this direction, to continue to work on a personalized program for our clients. Which are the trends that you see appearing in genetics?
First of all, Clinique La Prairie is world leader in well-being and better aging. Gene Predictis is a recognized leader in precision medicine, and as you said, we joined our forces to develop tools to basically offer better quality of life to people. And our tests will certainly help professionals, physicians of Clinique La Prairie to propose a personalized follow-up to all your clients according to their own risk and predispositions. And certainly we will continue developments in this direction.
I have a last question for you. So, how much is genetic and how much is lifestyle? Are you able to tell us a percentage of how much we can influence in a way our genetic and how much is important our lifestyle for keeping and improving our health?
This ratio is different for every disease, but I would say that in average we can say that half is determined by our gene and the other half is determined by our lifestyle.
So can we say that with your test we are covering the first half and with what we are doing at Clinique La Prairie we are sure that the other half is taken into account in the best way possible?
Absolutely, I think it's what we're trying to do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.